Hey, look who's back. The sun's finally out in SEQ and we're going to go give this thing an honest review. So we've done some setup and we'll talk you through that, and then we'll take it out there and see how it rides. First ride. Done a little bit of footpath, done a few wheelies up the street. Alright, as you might have seen in our last video, this is an Intense Primer S, full 29er. The sun's out on the sunny coast, so we are going to go and have a ride around. My two bikes before this were a nuke-proof Reactor, full 29er, 2019 model, and then I changed that up in 22 and went to a nuke-proof Giga. There is actually riding footage coming, right? So like and subscribe. Ready? We're going. Now, why is all that important? This is considered a trail bike. So if you think about where it fits in the scheme of bikes, you've got an XC bike, low amount of travel, and geometry is a little bit ideal for up and not so much down, but spending a lot of time in the saddle. Your trail bike's your next one up. It goes everywhere, it does everything. Enduro bike, super enduro, that's what the Giga was, and then obviously the pinnacle is downhill bikes. So this is a trail bike, one above a XC bike. Riding footage coming, I promise. Keep watching, like and subscribe. The Reactor was 130 travel rear, 150 front. This is 140 rear and 160 front. So it's slightly more aggressive than that Reactor was. Why did I go away from the Giga? I bought that specifically to do King of Cannonball. Chairlift up, 10-minute plus runs down, bombing through jank. You need that little bit of suppleness, you know, so your body doesn't get bashed up. And we did pretty good in that race. Those are definitely not my forte. And as the tracks got faster and steeper, I kind of progressed through the week, but that's beside the point. Why did we go back to a trail bike? Southeast Queensland trails are pretty tame, pretty mellow. They love a good flow trail down here. So I don't need all of that travel for my day-to-day riding. Can you ride them? Yes. If you're going to do trips to Medina, should you get a Giga or a similar type bike, the Intense Tracer? Absolutely. I know Matty in Townsville, he's going to go a Tracer because the trails in Townsville are a little bit more rugged than here. But I just don't need it for here, for what I plan to do. Fox Superflow Cup coming up. Going to try that stuff out. Anyway, what have we done to set this thing up? Starting here, these bars are 12mm rise, maybe less. I'll have to check at the specs, but they're quite low. My Giga had a 25mm rise bar, so going to take a little bit of adjusting. These are also carbon and also 35mm clamp. That might feel more harsh, I think, but we'll ride it, we'll see what we think. Levers, I like to run my levers inboard. Moto concept here, right? Hands on the bars. You want your fingers on the outside of the lever. Longer the lever, the greater the force. That means that you don't have to apply as much force when braking. If you run your levers close to your grips, A, you don't have a long lever to pull on, and B, it bangs into your other knuckles. So I like my lever. I got these 43mm in from the grips. With the old SRAM stuff I used to run at nearly 50. But because these are a shorter and a more hook-shaped lever, 43 is a sweet spot, I think. Bars, brakes, fork. These have a main air cartridge and a ramp-up air cartridge. So you put air in the top, air in the bottom. Not all forks are like that. I've gone right in the middle of the settings for my weight. Just first ride, test it, see how it goes. It feels pretty good on the footpath and that sort of thing. So mid-range, worked out the rebound, got it feeling pretty nice. We'll see how that goes. 25% sag in the rear. Tyre pressures, I like 24, 29. Higher than probably most, but I feel any lower than that, I start to feel it sort of wallowing and peeling off the rim even through hard cornering. So it rolls really fast for me, but it's still got a nice level of tackiness. And it means I dent less rims and get less burps. So I'll set this up tubeless too. It comes out of the box with tubes, but set it up tubeless because it feels mad. If you haven't done that, I was a late to the party on that one, but it's a game changer. So they are a pain in the backside when they're not working, but when they're working, they are mint. What else? Got my Horizon Pro CS. These rims are a little bit different to what I'm used to. I changed around the little stem setting a little bit, had it up a bit too high for me. So this feels a little bit more aggressive. So my idea with this bike is cruise around all the local trails. I just sort of cruise up and along the flats, and then I try and bomb down stuff as fast as I can. It's just what's fun for me. So let's go check it out. Bruh. All right, so we made it out here. There's three sort of sets of trails that I ride on the sunny coast. Sugarbag Road, it's probably closest to mine. Nice for a little dip after work. My favourite are probably Tewantin and Warroy trails, probably the most gravity focused. But this one's smack bang in the middle, Parklands Bly Bly. With all the rain that we've had, I figure these two trails here, Taser and Blue Tongue, sort of up and out of the moisture. So they should be pretty dry, hopefully not too smashed. I've done some tuning of bikes on them before, which is suspension pressures and stuff like that. So we're gonna go hit them up, see how they go. See you in a sec. Finally some riding footage. Ooh, like and subscribe. Finally he did some riding. All right, that's gonna do. Back to the car now. So, what have we got to say? Got this trail bike. Compared to your Super Enduro. Well, straight away I noticed it climbs up the hills better. Less travel, you'd expect that, a little bit lighter. I noticed it pops out of turns, caught me off guard the first few, where you come through a turn and you go to sort of bounce out to get ready for the next thing. A little more travel, you kind of stay in that travel for longer, whereas this thing, it pops out and gets you ready for the next thing. Great for this flow style stuff. If you're popping out and going into jank, threadbow type rough stuff, probably not as ideal, but you know, for carrying momentum through not really rough things, great. The brakes, I'd probably put them somewhere between a SRAM and a Shimano XT brake. People don't like the XT sometimes because they're either on or off and you can flip yourself. Some people don't like the SRAM because they're a little bit doughy. I'd say these are probably halfway in between. Really good power, nailed my lever position, they feel really good. Obviously Maxxis tyres, I've run them since the 90s and they are the best tyres. Assegai up front, Minion DHR at the rear, perfect, loved it, pressures were good. So hopefully the idea wasn't to show you, you know, what's out here necessarily, it's to show you what the bike's capable of. So we got jumps, we got drops, we got bowl turns, we got square off turns. Hopefully you get a bit of an idea for it. Do you want a trail bike? If you like the sort of stuff that we're riding here today, then yes, a trail bike is for you. If you want to go a bit burlier and you know, huck it off some big stuff or possibly do downhill racing and enduro racing on it, yeah, get a bit more travel. Would you race downhill on this? Probably not recommended. Can you race enduro on it? 100%. Maybe not in the you know, Alps of Switzerland, but around Australia, super easy to pedal around. The coil shock's really good on the rear, hooks up. I did adjust 2 clicks of low speed compression out of the forks. It felt nice and stiff when I was riding around the footpath. I just wanted a little bit more butter on the trails, and the front was hooking up really nicely. So overall, I'm stoked. I can't wait. I want to ride this thing again. Get out and ride, people. Peace.